Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, JDs and Lentilmen. And if you're just coming in, please say hello, give us a thumbs up, give us a wave, and if you join us, hit the share button, let other people know. I am jumping in today, wanting to do a video that I wanted to do last night, but it was really late, which was in response to the Super Bowl thing that went on. Oh yeah, I definitely rattled a few cages. So if you're coming on and you want to be part of this and you want to share it with other people, please do so. If you're seeing it later, that's fine. You can also share. You can also leave your comments. I would expect that there will be some. As I think most of you are aware that as I'm recording this, yesterday was the 2018 Super Bowl. And congratulations to the winning team, which apparently was Philadelphia Eagles. So where do I start? Because the title of this video was Super Bowl versus Super Bowel. And what I said about it was that I posted a post on Facebook, and what I said was, who else doesn't give a flying feces about the Super Bowl? And to my surprise, I'll be honest with you, lots of people, actually lots of people didn't give a flying feces. And many of them were quite delighted that I challenged the societal or standard hype around the whole thing. Others were clearly pissed off and accused me of being, one lady accused me of being in a bad mood, and had been for a while, she said, and told me that I should apologize to my Facebook friends. Well, before I go on to why I posted what I did and what was behind it and all the rest of it, I want to be very clear here and say this. If you are one of my Facebook friends, that means you requested my friendship. I've been full on Facebook for about 5 years, maybe a bit more. So there's a very good chance that you requested my friendship. And if you requested my friendship and you find what I say doesn't work for you, you're completely free to cancel that friendship. I'm good with that. That's all right. I don't hate you. I don't dislike you. It's okay. You have that option. You don't have to remain my friends. Nobody is making you do that. Trying to make me apologize to your sensibilities, that is never, ever going to work. So that's just not going to work. All right, so let me be clear about who I am. Do I ruffle feathers? You bet I do. Do I antagonize? Is that my intention? Actually, never. Do I want to challenge people to think outside of the constraints that they were been brought up into? Absolutely. All the time. Someone else responded to something, because there was a bunch of comments, a whole lot of comments. Someone else responded to one of the comments where I said that I gave zero fucks were given about the game. And apparently this both upset this person's and apparently George Washington's moral sensibilities. Personally, I do swear. And if you don't swear, that's okay. I don't think you should swear. But you also don't get to tell me that I shouldn't. And you also don't get to tell me that I lack intelligence or that I lack vocabulary because I swear. I just find it very useful sometimes. So another example was even a very dear friend of mine, someone I actually do love and care about and have known for many, many years, got pretty upset with me that I've posted something similar about the Super Bowl and actually about other sporting events on other occasions. So let me start off by saying, giving you some sort of background and understanding about why I posted what I posted, and hopefully it will open some eyes and maybe some minds. Let me start off by saying, as a very amateur athlete, I have enormous respect for the work, the commitment that goes into playing a sport at that level that would get somebody into the Super Bowl. Furthermore, I've had many in-depth conversations with both players and coaches who have been at that level, and I've enjoyed them enormously. So it's not about that. So why all this hub? Well, let's start here. Let's not forget that the research is in that it may be called the Super Bowl, but what it actually is the Brain Damage Bowl. I mean, think about it. This is the day where we stand around waving our flag, some people painting their faces, cheering for people and teams that are going to collide into each other with their heads at such a level that will create concussion, causing impact that statistically has near certainty of causing some irrevocable brain damage, to the result where it is recorded that it has caused murder, suicide, and just, you know, a minor detail, dementia. I hope you can grasp that you're standing around and cheering for something that people are going to get brain damage from. That's my first point here, okay? Now, let me be clear. If you've chosen to play knowing the potential challenges, I have nothing against your choice. Nothing at all. What saddens me is when playing the game, doing something like that that could cause brain damage, seems to be your only opportunity to get out of a bad situation. I grew up in the UK, and I knew guys who went and worked in the mines, not because they didn't know the damage that working in a coal mine was going to do to them. They knew, but it was, or it seemed like, the only possible option. And that, for me, is a very sad situation in what is considered to be the world's #1 economy. So I don't judge you for making that choice. What really makes me sad is when we're ill-informed, when we're paying a price that is far higher than the payoff. So where I come from, I'm coming from a place of having zero intention of changing anybody's mind. I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to defend what I said. But rather I want to have the opportunity to hopefully have you and even me open our minds and see things from a fresh lens. The reason I posted my comments about the Super Bowl is because it's easy for some folks, and this is for me is vital. It's easy for some folks to scream out for their teams, and for that matter, the players on their teams. And they get very emotional and excited about this. And these are very often the very same people who will tell you that they're not emotional and they don't cry when somebody they care about passes, or there's a horrible diagnosis in the family, or something horrible has happened to somebody that they care about. They're kind of stoic. Yet these are the same people who scream and shout and show massive amounts of emotion for a team that doesn't even know they exist, other than the fact that they've put money into the franchise in some way, shape, or form. I mean, think about that. Think about how many people, how many fans are in the crowd, at the stadium, at home, watching on TV, watching on screens, cheering with everything they've got. And I love it, by the way. I love that you're doing that. But what would happen if you did that in your personal life? What would happen if someone that you love, think about this, the people that you love, they step out onto the field of life? How often do we just offer perfunctory support? And when they score a personal touchdown, we may say, well done. But rarely do we cheer the way we would cheer for a football team or for a player. What would happen to the people you loved if they knew, if they saw you demonstrate that kind of support for them? The way you do for your favorite team or your favorite player, for that matter. I grew up in the UK, so I didn't grow up with American football. I grew up with soccer. And as a kid, I supported a team because that was what I was supposed to do. My uncle took me to the games. He indoctrinated me into it. Soccer in the UK is much like football is in the US. It's a religion. It's not a sport, it's a religion. And like religions, we're kind of born into them. everybody around us supports something and then we join in with that. And if you don't, you might get ostracized from your very tribe, from your own family. That's pretty scary. Religion, religio in Latin, that which we bind ourselves to. I knew guys in the UK who would not get married when their team was playing a home game. How important is the sport to you versus the person you love, versus your children? I mean, think about this for a moment. We put all this emphasis on supporting a team and supporting a player, and we rarely do that for the people we love, let alone for ourselves. Imagine standing in the stadium of your life, cheering for yourself, cheering for your vision, cheering for your Super Bowl, whatever that is. Do you do that? Or do you just pile on the self-doubt? I know I've been guilty of it, just like so many other people. So this is why my comment was about the Super Bowl, because we're not cheering for ourselves. And a lot of the time, these games they're divisive. I live in Vancouver, one of the most beautiful, peaceful cities on the planet. It's gorgeous. The Vancouver Canucks lost the Stanley Cup and the city went mental. I mean, people had a riot. They turned shit over, broke windows. This peaceful, beautiful city turned into a gong show. What the hell is that? Because a team didn't win a Stanley Cup? How does that impact your life? That you damage other people's property, that you injure violence towards other people. Have you seen the aftermath of the Super Bowl? Have you seen what's happened in the city? The damage, the destruction, the physical violence. Think about this. You bright people, if you're on my Facebook and you're one of my friends, one of my followers, I know you're a thinker. So don't just brush this off as me criticizing American football, because it isn't that at all. In fact, I want to take it a bit further for you and have you get something that so many of us miss. At the end of the Roman Empire, the Colosseum was never more full. You're being distracted, folks. You're being distracted. If you're watching the game and you're screaming and shouting, are you not noticing what's really going on in the world? Are you not noticing what's going on politically at leadership level? Are you not noticing the people who are starving? Are you not noticing the situations? And I'm not saying it's wrong to have a distraction. I'm not saying it's wrong to be entertained. But I am challenging you to look at how we are being manipulated to not pay attention to what really matters. So here's my challenge to you. Here's what I want you to think about. What's the real Super Bowl? See, here's what I think, just as something, right? Think about a business in your town. Maybe it's a friend of yours who's a consultant or a coach or somebody who owns a sign company like my friend Zachary, who was pissed off at my post. Think about that. Now, what would happen if you became a fan of that? What would happen if your business had 1,000 raving fans who stood around and cheered for you to hit your goals, to hit your message, to do outstandingly well? How well would we all do if we had 1,000 fans who were raving and screaming and shouting the way they do at the Super Bowl? What would that feel like to you to know that you had 1,000 loyal, raving fans? So my suggestion to you is just that. Become a raving fan of yourself. Become a raving fan of your goals. Decide what your Super Bowl is. And train. Yeah, like I said, those guys who play, they work hard. They're disciplined. They're dedicated. They're committed. They keep trying. Even the teams that have never won. They don't go, oh, we've never won in 10 years, we should quit. They keep trying. They keep working. They keep doing it. What about that with your goals, with your dreams, with your passion, with the things that you want in your life? What about that with the difference that you can make in the world? That's what I'm challenging you to do. And that's why I called the game a Super Bowl. That's why it is the brain damage cup, the brain damage ball. Become a super fan for yourself. Become a super fan for those that you love. Paint your face, shout from the stadium. Be in that corner. This is Dov Baron, founder of FullMontyLeadership.com. I'm here to assist you tapping into your deep greatness. And sometimes that means agitating the water a little bit. It's not because I'm in a bad mood. It's because I care. Till next time, this is Dov Baron. Stay curious, my friend. Stay curious about how you're being distracted from what really matters to you. Till next time, I'm out.